Embraer's first aircraft, the Bandeirante, was a twin turboprop built at the request of the Brazilian Air Force to connect remote regions of the country. It carried up to 21 passengers in civilian form and served across South America as a short-field workhorse capable of operating from rough, unpaved strips. It was also adopted by military branches across the region for transport, patrol, and liaison roles. Production ran over 2 decades, with more than 500 units built. The Ipanema is a single-engine agricultural aircraft developed for Brazilian farming conditions. Simple, rugged, and low maintenance, it was designed to operate from unprepared strips in the interior. It became the foundation for a long-running family of crop dusters that continues to this day. The Xingu is a pressurized twin turboprop for the business and light transport market, borrowing design elements from the Bandeirante while introducing a wider, more comfortable fuselage. It served both civilian operators and military liaison units in Brazil and France, with the French Air Force operating a fleet for crew training and officer transport. The Bandeirulha is a maritime patrol variant of the Bandeirante, developed to monitor Brazil's coastline and river systems. It carried search radar, observation windows, and drop equipment for rescue operations. Minimal structural changes from the base airframe kept development costs low. The Tucano is a tandem 2-seat turboprop trainer built to replace piston aircraft in Brazilian military flight schools. It delivered jet-like handling at a fraction of jet operating costs, making it attractive to air forces with limited budgets. The type was exported to over a dozen countries and built under license in the United Kingdom by Short Brothers for the Royal Air Force, which used it as its primary basic trainer for many years. The Brazilia is a pressurized 30-seat regional turboprop and one of Embraer's most commercially successful aircraft. It quickly found operators across North America and Europe, and at its peak formed the backbone of the American Eagle regional network in the United States. The EMB-202 was a significant redesign of the original Ipanema, with an enlarged hopper, improved spray system, and a more powerful engine suited to large-scale mechanized agriculture. Lessons from over 2 decades of operations informed the updated airframe. It remained in production for over a decade. The ERJ-145 marked Embraer's entry into the regional jet market, offering 50 seats with 2 Rolls-Royce AE3007 engines mounted at the rear of the fuselage. Designed to replace aging turboprops on thin routes, it became a major commercial success and a common sight at mid-sized airports through the late 1990s and 2000s. Its low operating costs and reliability helped cement Embraer's reputation as a serious competitor against established manufacturers. The ERJ-135 is a shortened ERJ-145, seating 37 passengers, while sharing over 95% of its systems with the larger aircraft. It served low-demand routes where a 50-seat jet would operate mostly empty, and also became the structural basis for the legacy 600 business jet. The ERJ-140 offers 44 seats, sitting between the ERJ-135 and ERJ-145. It was developed primarily for United Express and American Eagle, who needed an intermediate capacity option. The niche proved narrow, and production numbers were smaller than either sibling. The Legacy 600 is a large cabin business jet derived from the ERJ-135, with the regional interior replaced by an executive cabin and fuel capacity increased for extended range. It competes in the same segment as the Bombardier Challenger 604 and Gulfstream G450. The E170 is the smallest original E-jet, seating 70 to 80 passengers in a 2x2 layout that eliminated the middle seat across the entire cabin. This gave it a passenger comfort advantage over competing regional jets. The type opened routes that larger narrow-bodies could not serve economically. The E175 stretches the E170 to 88 passengers and shares a common type rating, reducing pilot training costs. It has become dominant in the United States regional market, where scope clause restrictions in pilot contracts have maintained steady demand for aircraft below 76 seats. The EMB-203 is the current Ipanema variant and the first production aircraft in the world certified to run on pure hydrous ethanol. Brazil's agricultural sector, already deeply tied to ethanol, embraced it for lower operating costs. It remains in limited production as a niche but durable platform. The E190 is the commercial anchor of the first-generation E-Jet family, seating up to 114 passengers with economics suited to routes too thin for an Airbus A320 or Boeing 737. Its passenger-friendly 2x2 layout and strong range performance made it a credible option for airlines of various sizes. JetBlue was the launch customer and built one of the largest E190 fleets in the world, operating it across its North American network for well over a decade. The E195 is the largest first-generation E-Jet, stretching to 124 passengers. It attracted fewer orders than the E190 because its capacity began overlapping with the lower end of the narrow-body market, blurring its value proposition. Carriers in Europe and South America found it useful on medium-density domestic routes. The Super Tucano is a fully modernized and enlarged evolution of the Tucano, capable of advanced training and light attack missions. It carries two 12.7mm machine guns, underwing hardpoints for rockets and bombs, and a glass cockpit compatible with night vision equipment. The Brazilian Air Force uses it extensively for Amazon surveillance and border patrol, and it has been exported to more than 15 countries across Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East, where its low operating cost and high reliability in austere conditions give it a clear advantage over jet alternatives. The Phenom 100 is a very light jet built to bring turbine performance to owner-operators and small charter companies. It seats 4 passengers and is powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney Canada PW617 engines. The type was commercially successful and established Embraer as a serious competitor in entry-level business aviation. The Phenom 300 is a light jet above the Phenom 100, offering greater range, higher cruise speed, and seating for up to 8. It has ranked as the best-selling light business jet globally for multiple consecutive years, competing against the Cessna Citation CJ series and the Pilatus PC-24. The Lineage 1000 is a conversion of the E190 airliner into an ultra-large business jet, carrying around 19 passengers across a 5-zone executive cabin. Depending on configuration, the interior can include a bedroom, dining area, and full-size bathrooms. It is among the largest purpose-converted business jets available from any manufacturer. The Legacy 650 is a stretched Legacy 600 with a range exceeding 7,200 kilometers, enabling certain transatlantic city pairs without a fuel stop. Updated fuel capacity and systems set it apart from its predecessor. It is commonly operated by governments, heads of state, and charter companies. Originally the Legacy 450, the Praetor 500 was the first mid-size business jet to offer full fly-by-wire flight controls and active turbulence reduction. It seats 9 passengers and covers transcontinental distances on one fuel load. A 2018 rebranding accompanied a further round of avionics and performance upgrades. The Praetor 600, formerly the Legacy 500, is a super mid-size fly-by-wire jet seating up to 12 passengers with sufficient range to connect New York and London under favorable conditions. At launch, it offered the largest flat-floor cabin in its class, which remains a commercial differentiator. The C390 is a medium tactical transport powered by 2 CFM56 turbofan engines designed to replace the C130 Hercules in Brazilian service. It carries up to 26 tons of cargo, including vehicles, pallets, and paratroopers, and can also perform aerial refueling in the KC390 tanker configuration. Export customers include Portugal, Hungary, the Netherlands, and Austria, with further interest from other air forces evaluating a modern replacement for aging Hercules fleets. The E190-E2 opens Embraer's second-generation E-Jet series, featuring new Pratt & Whitney PW1900G geared turbofan engines, redesigned wings, and an updated avionics suite. Embraer reports around 17% lower fuel burn versus the first-generation E190. It entered service with Widerøe in 2018. The E195-E2 is the largest aircraft Embraer has ever built, accommodating up to 146 passengers and offering the widest cabin cross-section in its competitive category. It shares the geared turbofan engine family used across the E2 line, and several operators have deployed it to replace older narrow bodies on medium-density routes. The E175-E2 is the smallest E2 family member and its most commercially challenged. Technically certified, its path into the United States market is blocked by scope clause restrictions in major airline pilot contracts that limit the size of aircraft regional operators can fly. Embraer is seeking orders elsewhere, but broad commercial penetration has not yet materialized.